I need to hear something from the people that represent my community that's not a rubber stamp answer. And that's all I can say about it. And when I hear people that say they represent me, give me the same thing I hear when I go Far West Side, I can't accept that. You gotta at least say something to me that hears my heart and understand my kids on that street. Okay, here's what I want to say about Evergreen. You're telling me that there's not money for this and not money for that, but yet there's $7 million to displace 256 black families. And we know the law right now that we know the fact that 0 of the people up in Liberty Meadows or the projects there got those housing. And, you know, even though we promised them a pie in the sky and they got this and that, there's a good possibility that over 70 or 80% of them will be displaced. And or they'll be looking for a house in East St. Louis. And I'm from East St. Louis. I know how the streets look down there. It's a hard place. Okay, Springfield is not much better, neither is Decatur, and that's where they end up. And I interviewed them. I've been down there talking to them. Now, you say there's no money for this, and I have a problem whenever it comes for my community. There's no money. We can build everything out there on the west side. We can build ballparks. We can build a swimming pool hole right next to the gambling boat. But we can't do anything for the east side. The devil is a liar. Now I want to say this.
Is there a question?
You spend $15 million. They're gonna buy Evergreen for $15 million. They've already invested $7 million on legal fees. They plan to take $5 million out of HUD money that's designed to expand housing to purchase this housing while they displace. Is that a proper use for you think when we're supposed to be expanding low-income housing? To use $5 million after using $7 million already to take away that housing.
Can you let her respond?
Can I get another question? I'll be the back of the line.
There's still some.
Pastor Persis, you know I feel you about the housing. I'm a product of project housing, okay? I came out of the project.
I lived in Delaware.
Okay, so here is my thing. When you look at the quality
And
of
now
life,
we live around the corner from each other.
absolutely, we're neighbors. Love you to death, bro. When we look at the quality of life of people, we knew that model of where I call it warehousing people does not work. We know that. We know it didn't work up in Forest Park. It didn't work in Chicago. It does not work over the country. So what I merely said is that in order for the people, I'm thinking about the people in their quality of life first. That's the first issue. I do not want to lose a single resident who wants to live and remain here in Joliet. And I think it is my responsibility as a leader in this community, whether I sit in the District 4 seat or not, is to continue to make sure that we have affordable housing throughout this city. So, you know, I don't know if I'm answering you and with the passion, but my passion is for the last 30 years, and you know for yourself, we did grassroots organizing right here to fight for change. I've been on the outside pushing for change, and for the last 8 months, I've had the opportunity to sit at the table, to bring the voice of the people to the table. I'm just getting started in this thing, and I want to continue to fight to make sure that every resident that is in Evergreen Terrace be able to stay in Joliet if they want to, and that is certainly up to them.
Did you want to direct that question to anyone else?
I won't say Crystal, they're right, but you know that all they gotta do is wait those people out and they'll jump out, and they know that. All they're gonna do is wait those people out. If you don't get a house right away, because these people end up homeless. Okay, that's what happens to them.
We've got a few more people who want to ask some questions. questions, and I appreciate your passion.
All right.
I think you've asked and answered.
I'm with the next one.
Now, we're gonna move on to the next question, because that took up a lot of time, and you did direct it.
I can be brief.
Then I
All
apologize.
right, go ahead.
We can both be brief.
Yeah, I can, real quick.
We're just gonna make that on this report.
I just want to say it's really sad and we shouldn't just kick people out in the cold. It's really important that people have the opportunity to stay in Joliet if they wish. And much like they built homes on Washington Street, I believe we can do that and make sure that everyone has a place to live.
And your question is, actually, are you gonna proceed with the city purchasing?
Are you gonna continue to spend all that money when you tell us there's no money to be spent?
We always have money. I don't believe that we don't have money. Like you mentioned, we have money for all these pet projects, but we don't have money for people. That's a lie. We have money for people. We just need a budget.
Absolutely. And watching the budget.
Just real briefly, we're 7.5 million in legal fees. We're getting ready to spend another 7.5 in purchasing of it. 15 million.
15 million.
50 what?
You can build a house for about 100,000. And if you're doing multiple housing, it gets cheaper than that. So somebody needs to do the math on how many houses we can build with 15 million.
We're gonna wrap up with two more questions, I think. Two more people.
He don't want to hear what I got to say.
I want
He
to
said it was okay.
No, you don't.
And you
He's
still do
already
have
heard.
closing statements, that's an opportunity.
My name is Kennedy Wilson, and my question is directly to my city councilman in District 5. I was not there at the forum, at, what's the name of that center, when they had the forum last couple of weeks ago, I wasn't there.
The
Let me ask you
CDC.
a question, what was your accomplishments since you were city councilman? And what come out of your mind was, you said that you had cleaned up the housing authority board.
No, I did not say that.
Okay,
I did not say that.
okay, because I was on the housing authority board, and I resigned on my own free will. I ain't mean stand up, Amy, I want to stand up. She is the one that wrote my resignation for me. And the reason why that I stepped down from the housing authority is because I did not want to be affiliated or associated or be beside the mayor.
Is there a question?
Yes, I do. What are you gonna do with the housing authority is getting ready to tear down Fairview? And what are you gonna do when they decide to tear down Walter Street? What's gonna happen to these people? And you said you're gonna deal with that developer that's gonna do your search. They are the ones, I don't know if everybody did their homework, they're the ones that gotta have a lot of people dispersed in Chicago. They're the ones that disperse everybody. So what are you gonna do when Fabian's gone, my cousin Beck, and Terry Morris,
Let him
Mr.
answer.
Morris, about Water Street, when they disperse the people, anyway.
Bring it back.
I give it to the lady first, 'cause this is a district.
You said, what am I going?
Fairview and Water Street, when they decide, and they're getting ready, folks,
You're
they're
not gonna
getting
limit
ready
them.
to tear them down. About the same time we get ready to purchase Evergreen Terrace.
We wanna know what the city's gonna do.
What's the city's gonna do? Well, we will certainly start looking more at affordable housing because it is the same thing. Everybody deserves a quality place to stay. And so I think we have enough housing stock and can build more housing stock. We do. I think it was Terry's. It's Terry's.
Well, it takes 6 months to build a house. So I think it's time to stop looking and start building, especially if you have these many people that are going to be displaced. I'm gonna take you back to 1992.
I'm not gonna let you go back that
What happened in 1992?
No more trips
You
out
have to
there.
tell me what happened.
The housing authority has a board that makes those decisions. And yes, we may have some input. Since being on the council, we started, or we what's the right term? Organize a housing authority oversight board. I don't know what Mr. Millsap is referring to that I want to clean the board off. I asked the mayor to appoint more board members when he asked the board to resign. And that's when Mr. Millsap sent him a letter. But what I have done, I just met with Michael
No.
Simonton
That's not true, Terry.
2 days ago.
I resigned of my own free will. I could have stayed on the board. The mayor had no jurisdiction over the housing authority.
The mayor sent a letter to the housing authority board and asked everyone to
And I
resign.
told the mayor,
I don't know what you're
told the
talking about.
mayor,
Just
he
stay.
has no jurisdiction over the housing.
We don't wanna lose
So
control
I
of
resigned
this.
off my own free will.
I didn't
Don't
say,
be telling me
I didn't
about
say you
me.
didn't resign on your own. I said the mayor sent the letter to the board to ask the board to resign. Mr. Millsap resigned, Mr. Jerissa
On my
resigned.
own free will.
And Mr.
Okay.
Jerissa
Okay.
resigned on his own free will
No,
after
he
it.
did, the mayor accepted it.
Well, he sent a letter of resignation and the mayor accepted it,
All right,
yeah.
pass the mic.
So, but now, let me do one quick second.
Still with me.
I met with Michael Simonton. These people that live there, and I'm very concerned about them, they're meeting this week with the consultant that the housing authority hired, the people in Des Plaines Garden, not Fairview, in Des Plaines Garden, this week are meeting with a consultant to help them get ready for the move. They're gonna be given a voucher, but you have to qualify for the voucher. And they will be given a voucher way before the bulldozers come in. They'll have time to go out and look for property, look for homes. These people are gonna help them with getting help them with their education, with job searching, and the whole 9 yards.
Keep your answer brief, please.
It's real brief, but it did say in the newspaper, Terry, that you said you cleaned up the housing authority.
I did not
Now,
say that.
I'm not gonna get into
I don't
argument,
care what.
but that's what it said. I worked at the housing authority, they don't have the jurisdiction to clean it up. Okay? Michael Simonton was one of the people who said, the director, that we don't need a social service coordinator. Give me a break. You know, the people who are on the board, and when it's time for election, they all come around. But you won't see them no more after April 7th. That's all I got to say. I'm not trying to down nobody, I'm just telling the truth.
Thank you.
Don't believe what you
One last
read.
question.
All right.
The housing authority wants to replace house for house. The city, because of their density rule in the black community, won't allow them to put the 120 there. They can only put about, 50 or 60.
No, they putting 119 at this point.
119.
They're putting 100 back.
119
That's
at
how
this
many of
point.
them there. So now
No,
they're
it
replacing
was
all-
160 there. They putting 119 back.
So now they change it.
And then they're gonna do a Liberty Meadow 3 that I'm not sure if that's gonna be another 60 at Liberty Meadow 3.
Oh.
Yeah, Mr. Simonton would be glad
Gentlemen, I
to
believe
share
I
this
have
with
the floor
you.
right now.
He has the
Thank
floor.
you. I have a question for the host. Were all the candidates for District 4 invited to attend this event?
They all were invited.
Thank you, sir. I have been to 2 debates in the last 2 weeks, and I applaud the 5 individuals here tonight that showed up for the job interview. If you're running for office, you need to show up for the job interview. This is the second time candidates have not shown up for the job interview, and a round of applause to them for taking the tough questions. I personally thank you.
We have one question that came in from the audience. Where are you going, what are you going to do to cut crime in your district? Question came from a reader on Facebook.
Crime is a very important and sad part of Joliet that we need to address. And one idea that I have is installing police surveillance videos. However, I have an idea how we can do this without raising taxes. My idea is proposed corners where we will install police surveillance cameras, have all the homeowners affected take a vote that are affected by within a block radius. And if this block votes yes to install a police surveillance camera, all of them can share the cost and maintenance. I think this will be a very important tool in helping our police department.
Establishing community policing. That means it's going to take all of us working together. The neighborhood councils are a valuable tool in our community. Getting to know each other in your community where you can report these things that you see. And when you know there is a person in your neighborhood that is committing all of this, there are opportunities for you to have that person removed by establishing great community policing. NOPT officers are there, your sector officers are there, but it's going to take you engaging as well. And we all have to accept our own responsibility in this. And no longer can we allow these people to go and take our streets. We got to take our streets back. That is our responsibility, to take our streets back. Report these crimes. Build that relationship with your community officer.
I think before we even deal with the economic development aspect, I think we need to first have a safe community, because no one is going to put a business or invest in a community that's riddled with murders and crimes. So something that I would do is, in District 4 and in District 5, I would make police substations. There are some vacant properties in District 4 that the neighborhood could rehab and have the police there, right there. There's been 4 murders within blocks of the Forest Park Community Center. There's a store that's been sitting there, brick building, that's been sitting there for months vacant. Let's make it a police substation. And we can do the same thing in District 5. Police substations right there. That way, that lessens the response time for the police officer, because they're right there in the neighborhood where the crimes are taking place.
Our NOPT officers, Forest Park is a substation. They're right there.
Not at night.
2 minutes, they're there.
Yeah, I think we need to get back to some of the things that were happening in the 90s when the crime rate was high, especially in District 5, with policing. We did have a police trailer at Richardson 2nd Avenue, but it got shot up because the police wasn't there at night. So and vandalized, so they took it away. I just think the community needs to come together. I go to community meetings, the East Side neighborhood meetings, and it might be 3 people there, and that's it. And we need to get involved. The community needs to get involved. We have more police officers at the community meetings than we have residents.
Mm-hmm. That's
You know,
right. That's so true.
and we don't even have to spend any tax money for a camera. Chief Trafton, before he resigned, had a camera that he wanted to, or would have put at Richardson 2nd Avenue, but the residents said they didn't want it there. And it was a grant that was given to the city. The police department have a wonderful grant writer. A lot of the equipment that we get for them is given through federal funds. And as well as the fire department, I shouldn't leave them out. But I know we have a camera to put up, but the neighbors didn't want that blue light flashing, because you have to have some type of light flashing to let the people know it's there, which didn't make sense to me, but that's the, I guess, the federal law, right? So again, I think the community needs to get involved with the city, with the police department, and it's a house, and I should name the street, it's a house in my district that's just troublesome. And the neighbors know. They have to call and let the police department know. And when that happened, they contact the owner, because as Amy said, it's rental. And the owner will put the tenants out. I don't know where they're gonna go, maybe somewhere else and cause trouble, but it has to be community involved.
That's it. Yeah, that's it.
Well, one thing I have to say, I'm going to start a District 5 coalition that reaches out all the way out on Hobo Road, everywhere. We need that. We need to meet with, I can't do anything without the residents. I'm one person, and I'll sit up here be lying to you saying, I'll do this and I'll do that. I can't do it without your support. It needs jobs for these gang members. Vice lords can't go where the gangsters at. GDs can't come down this way. Latin Kings can't go a certain place. So we have to figure this out. This is 30 years in the making, like I said before. This didn't just happen overnight. So we can fool ourselves all we want. We have to bring jobs. And I think I heard Mr. Sellers say that, and Mr. Millsap. We need jobs. And when they see jobs, when I had that sit down with them, they said, Mr. Thomas, we need jobs. We don't care what it is. We just need a job to make it seem like we can take care of our kids.
10 seconds.
So that's what we need. And the church is doing a great job by helping us out with that. All we got to do is do what we got to do.
One last thing. I'd like each of you to ask the other a question. You don't have to, but if you have a question for the other candidates running in your district, you have 30 seconds to ask your question and a minute to answer. So think before you talk.
Terry, this is for you. Don't get violent. I'm just saying to you, what have you done in the 4 years that you've been in that seat? I watched you on Channel 6. You have never said anything but I. So, no disrespect. What have you done? What type of bills has passed to help District 5 out? It's still the same way it was 4 years ago. You're still preaching the same thing.
Give them an opportunity.
All right.
Yeah, and I do say more than I, but you might not watch all the meetings. And what happens at the meeting is just the formality of it. A district council person works every day, almost 24/7. I live at my business, and people come without calling about a street light, about a tree being down, whatever it is, and that's fine. And I never turn anyone away. They can call me. My cell phone is on the city website. I'm not running and hiding for anyone. What I've done has been what I said I was going to do, be a voice for the people of Joliet. Not only District 5, we talk about the council persons at large. I had someone call me today that's not in District 5 that I steered in the right direction to get something done because they know me personally. So, I mean, yeah, you watch the meetings, but that's not half of it. That's not even 10% of what a council person have to do. To be honest with you, I don't even know why we go down there. I could say I from home on the phone. But what I do know is that if any of my residents or constituents in District 5 need a service that the city should provide, I see that it's done.
One more quick question.
No,
One more quick question. I'd like to say this though. I don't need the mic. He has a funeral home. You keeping him in business with these gangs.
No,
That's all I got to say.
No. You know what?
No.
I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna answer your second question. Yes, I have a
You a
funeral home
councilman, don't
in
get
the
violent.
community. Oh no, that ain't got nothing to do with it, because I ain't always been a
Is
councilman.
this
I haven't always been a
Is this the
councilman.
real you?
Yes, it is. I don't take no mess.
I don't
You sure is. Yes, I have a funeral home. And I served these people since 1989, and the 3 services is not gonna make me. Okay, I don't even take a salary anymore. My son is a licensed funeral director, and my wife is the
Told you
secretary.
to quit.
I'm an old guy here.
Yeah. Well, don't come. Don't come.
Yeah, ask your question. You got a
I don't
question.
have nothing to ask them. What?
They gonna give me the mic for sure.
Not that I think the answer would even mean anything. Can I leave now? 'Cause-
Come on, Terry, come on.
My question is for Ms.
I
Gavin.
ain't playing this. ain't-
Back in 2009, you created a foundation, Unity CDC, and your organization in 2008, 2009 to 2011 has received over $600,000 in public grants and funds. I had a copy of the income tax of it if you want me to give you a copy.
30-second question.
In 2009, you promised a job inventory database under job creation. We have none. You promised 150 jobs in the first year. We didn't get that. You promised a workforce training program with 250 residents. We don't have that. As a matter of fact, our unemployment rate in District 4 is 50% higher. With regards to education, you promised a graduation rate that would increase of 5%. Right now, we're at 60% graduation rate.
All right.
Infrastructure, budget you passed.
Yeah, let me respond to that.
Why should we give you 4 more years when we've already given you 6?
Okay. First, let me tell you that I was one of the founding members of the Unity CDC. Unity CDC did never collect $600,000, as you said. And the plan that you're talking about, you looked at the strategic plan. That is a plan, not a promise. It takes people to get in there. Yourself, matter of fact, was in there. We could not get the participation from you and your and the other people who signed up for the business development piece. But Unity CDC, I never drew a dime out of Unity CDC. Everything was voluntary. So we did not, if you got this paper, I want to see this document where it was $600,000.
$578,000 with your picture, and you claim it on your
No, I did
flyer
not claim
that you
it.
are
Oh.
the
10 seconds.
founding member.
All of this is completely erroneous. I don't know where you got your information from.
It's on the website.
But none of that happened. None of that happened. And like I told you, those numbers that you spouted off was a part of the strategic plan. A plan is not a promise. Okay, it takes people to work that.
You have a question?
Yes, I do. Mr. Foster, you claimed a lot of things here this evening. You claimed that you volunteered and you provided for 3 years toys to the community center. We have not seen you at all. The first year in 2012 of September, I hired you to go and use your truck to pick up toys that somebody else brought. The other thing, you talk about a great successful business. A matter of public record does not indicate that your ethics or your leadership that you tout is in play. So, you say a lot of things and you throw out a lot of numbers, but none of that is fact checked. The question is, why are you submitting all of this to the people of Joliet running for this office when we cannot trust any of your words? That's the question. Explain that.
And you have 1 minute to do that.
I think first of all, I collected Christmas presents when we went to Essington. We came back to the center. You tried to give me money. I didn't take it. We in turn went over by that Essington we did across from the seniors' home. I picked them up at that bank, brought them to the place. Didn't get any money. Didn't ask for any money. Didn't want any money. Second year, we were over. When we left that year, we went down there. The Spanish Center has something in U.S. Steel. We picked up desks and stuff and brought it to the community center.
That's 2012. You said 3 years in a row.
Okay, here's another year. Another year was when we picked them up over by by Odekirk's office, over by the Metro Grill, across from the GMC building.
You must have took that someplace else. You
No,
didn't
no,
bring
no,
to
that
the
was
center.
a vacant place. When we went there, it was a vacant store, and we went in there with some of your team members, and we brought Christmas presents back to the center. Do you remember the 2 and 3 years when I went to Greg Hill and got the big generator and brought it to the baseball stadium?
That was for Unity. It was Unity.
You know what? Unity CDC is on Miss Gavin's flyer. Forest Park Community Center is on their flyer. Community service is community service.
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Guzman.
Yes, I have no questions. I'm just here to represent District 4 the best I can.
Hang on to the mic.
Oh, great.
Y'all
I'm not sure, but maybe we should have started with this part first. I would like to thank you all for being here. And this is always a difficult thing to do, to face your challengers, to face the public, but it is a necessary step so that the public understands where you stand or not stand on issues that are important to the city, to the whole city, and to your districts. Before I give you the go-ahead to make your closing statement, I have a privilege, since I get to moderate this thing. I'm a veteran. The city has 8 flag pavilions. They are unlit. We fly the flag 24/7. It violates the flag code, of course. there was an attempt, albeit a weak one, to put LED solar lights on these flags. They're only slightly better than lighting a match under one for illumination. So my request is not a question, no way, I'm not looking for